I got invited to a Google algorithms workshop. At the end of the day, they gave us an assessment. 3 coding questions, 45 minutes. Yeah. It was tense. But somehow I ended up doing well enough to make it to the top group that got invited to an extended series of algorithms workshops by Google engineers. So in this video, I'm going to explain exactly what happened from the application to what happened on the day, to the Google Live mock interviews, to the assessment, to everything I learned throughout the day. So this all started when I applied for the Google Algorithms workshop. I saw a post online on LinkedIn. I hit the apply button. I had to fill out a lot of stuff, give my CV, you know, like you're just applying for a job. And yeah, shot my application in and waited for the email. Then about 3 days before the event was supposed to happen, I received an email saying that I got invited to the workshop. And what I understood, it was a very limited amount of people that would be invited into that. And so me getting an invitation felt like a pretty big deal. You know, when something has Google's name on it, especially something around algorithms, a lot of people are going to want to get through that door. On the day itself, I remember walking in and feeling a mix of excitement and nerves. You know, when you walk into a room and you can just see that everybody there is focused. Yeah. It was one of those kind of rooms. Everyone had applied, everyone had got in, everyone was there because they wanted to get better. And that was very evident. Today was structured algorithms, but not in the way that you think it would. It wasn't just someone throwing random leak code problems at us and just saying, solve this. It was much deeper than that. They were teaching us how to think through problems. One of the biggest things they emphasized throughout the day was problem analysis. Before you start coding, you need to understand exactly what the problem is asking. And that sounds pretty obvious, but it's actually where a lot of people mess up in interviews. They read the prompt, recognize something's familiar, and then immediately start jumping to code. But then halfway through, they realize they misunderstood the constraints, missed an edge case, or even chose an approach that actually doesn't work. So they walked us through this process properly. First, clarify the problem. What are the inputs? What are the outputs? Are there any constraints? And what does the interviewer actually want me to solve? Then think about the brute force solution. And this is important. They weren't saying brute force is bad. They were saying brute force is an amazing starting point. Because once you can explain a simple solution, you can analyze why it's too slower and efficient. And then you have a lot more clarity on what exactly you need to optimize. The optimal solution should feel earned. It shouldn't feel like something you memorize and just jump straight into. And that was a big lesson for me. In an interview, it's not just about knowing the answer. You need to show the journey from the obvious approach to the better approach. That's what actually demonstrates problem-solving ability. One of the questions they had asked us throughout the workshop was the code question, group anagram. If you've done leak code and code before, you definitely know this one. But they didn't ask it directly like group anagrams, but it was very similar. So essentially, you're given a list of words and you need to group all the words together that are anagrams of each other. So for example, words like eat, tea, and ate would all be in the same group because they all share the same letters with the same frequencies. The basic approach is to sort each word and then group the words by their sorted versions. And that works. So eat, tea, and ate, when sorted, will all become EAT. And then you can just group them via a hash map to get the result out. The more optimal approach that I explained was using character frequency. And the key idea is that 2 words that are anagrams will share the exact same frequency of character. So instead of sorting the word, I use an array of size 26 to count the frequency of each letter, each word. So if the word is eat, you can count 1 E, 1 A, and 1 T. And if the word is T, you would be able to count the exact same frequency, and then I'll group that way. So any words that share the same frequency array would be grouped that way. So I use that frequency array as the key in the hash map, and the value would be the list of words that share that exact same frequency. So as I go through each word, I'd build up the frequency array, convert it into something that can be used as a hash map key, which is a tuple, as lists or arrays cannot be actually used as keys of a hash map as they're immutable. And then I'd append that word to the group. So I explained the optimal solution and explained my reasoning, and they actually gave me an Android plushie in recognition for how optimal my solution was. And honestly, that felt amazing. Not because of the plushie itself, but because I was getting recognition for all the hard work that I've been putting into algorithms. It really felt like all that hard work was really paying off. You know? One of the most valuable parts of the day was the live mock interview. They brought in a Google site reliability engineer and another more senior engineer to interview him right in front of everybody. So the day wasn't just hearing advice, we were also seeing that advice they were giving us in action. And that was huge because when you watch an actual live interview, you can see the rhythm of the whole thing being put together in a way that a normal tutorial just can't teach. The candidate clarifies the problem, they react when they don't understand the problem, the interviewer gives them hints, there's that silence when the candidate is confused, and the communication is just as important as the code. That's something I already knew, but it made it hit a lot harder. A technical interview is not just a coding test, it's a thinking test, a collaboration test, and a communication test. The code matters obviously, but the interviewer is also analyzing how you handle ambiguity, how you clarify things that don't make sense, how you explain trade-offs, and whether or not you can explain and follow your thought process. It strengthened my understanding of how important it is to speak while solving. It's not just solve more problems, get better at problems, improve speed. Yes, of course, all of that matters, but you also have to explain while thinking, stay composed, and be comfortable with somebody else watching you solve a problem. That itself is a skill on its own. And then outside of the algorithm side, we got an office tour, which was actually pretty cool. I have actually been to the office before for a hackathon, and I'll show the video here. It was actually pretty interesting. But nevertheless, it was nice seeing the office in person again. And I know you guys are asking the question, yes, we got some Google merch. We actually got a lot of it too. I'll show you guys here. Some pretty cool stuff. I'm not gonna pretend that didn't make the day even better, okay? Then came the intense part that I mentioned at the beginning of the video. At the end of the day, they gave us a coding assessment. 3 questions, 45 minutes. Nobody knew this was gonna happen beforehand. It was tense. That's not a lot of time. They split it into 3 15-minute sections where we actually were able to ask clarifying questions on the problem. So that was a good touch. But it wasn't like a normal coding assessment where you're typing into an editor on your laptop. No. They gave it to us on a worksheet, gave us pen and paper, I said solve. If you've ever coded before, you would know how annoying it is to code on paper. It honestly felt like I was back doing my college exams again, bro. The whole room, everybody head down on paper, pen, straight working. But at the same time, it was actually a really good test to see whether you could apply the things that they were explaining throughout the day. You know, things like, could you break down a problem correctly? Could you avoid overcomplicating it? You know, could you recognize the pattern? And could you write something clean under pressure? Because yeah, that time was pressure. And I ended up doing quite well. And I'm not saying it like it was easy. It definitely wasn't. But I think the reason I did well was because I didn't just jump straight into the questions and just try to code real quick and just No, I tried to slow myself down just enough to be able to follow a process. Read carefully, start with the brute force idea, look for a bottleneck, optimize, test with small examples, then move. That structure matters a lot when the clock is running. And after the workshop, they told us the top 20 people from the assessment would be advanced to a series of algorithms workshops. So after the day ended, there was the waiting period. And if you've ever waited for an email that actually matters, you know exactly what this feels like. You keep checking your inbox, you try not to overthink about it, you hit refresh on the inbox. And eventually I got the email. I made it into the follow-up series. It felt great because the first workshop already felt like an opportunity. But getting invited back meant that I had done well enough to continue to learn directly from Google Engineering. And you know, I had to make a LinkedIn post about it. The follow-up series were where things became more consistent. Every Friday, on call with Google engineers, they were explaining different data structures and algorithms concepts, problem analysis concepts, you know, just everything to do with we're trying to prepare you as best as possible for interviews. And on the last day of the series of algorithms workshops, they actually invited us to do a mock coding interview live with a Google engineer one-on-one. That hasn't happened yet. I'm actually going this week to do it. By the time this is uploaded, I will already have done that. And if you want me to make a video on how that went, I can make a video too. Yeah, that wraps it up. And if you want more videos like this, the real behind the scenes of learning to code, my journey and breaking into big tech, things of that nature, hit subscribe. And drop a comment below if you want me to make another video breaking down how I would prepare for a Google algorithms workshop or even a Google style technical interview. But yeah, that's the story. See you in the next one.